physics new solution of space-time theory and quantum gravity and the universe, which is the main solution of rapidly expansion of the universe. New quantum gravity. Quantum gravity means gravity should be explained by Max Planck's quantum mechanics. We have to know about proton decay, which is happened within 10 to the 37 years. All of the proton of the universe must decay completely by splitting graviton particles with energy. Albert Einstein Albert Einstein measured the general relativity theory by the velocity of photon particles. Hubble constant or cosmological constant is dependent on redshift of light, and Einstein mass energy conservation theory is also easy to access because C is the velocity of light or photon particles. Hubble watched the galaxy to another galaxy are moving far to far, and it was proved by the redshift of light. Friedman and Albert Einstein was calculate Friedman equation and general relativity theory by the velocity of photon particle or light. There's multiple mistakes turned into great blunder in general relativity theory. When the galaxies are expanding rapidly but not close in the inverse system, according to is equal to mc square. Some scientists said Albert Einstein general relativity was wrong. Now I have to discuss where the mistake of the galaxy, matter, are moving far away. After Big Bang, 13.82 billion years was left. It should be inverse and close because of sufficient matter, dark matter and dark energy. But that's not happen because matter to matter interaction are not dependent on the photon particle, it must be on graviton particle. But the velocity of graviton particles are much more faster than the all particles, above all photon particles. Picture. That picture of the Big Bang. In the singular point, there is an explosion 13.82 billion years ago. And then the matter or galaxy, such system saw the Hubble. If one galaxy to another galaxy redshifted when they are moving, it is redshifted of light moving, this depend on photon particles, but redshift of light depend on photon particles. But Einstein general relativity in the general relativity theory should not be by the velocity of light. There is a matter. This matter and this matter, there is an interaction is called gravity, and this is depend on graviton particles. Now, when the sun covered by the moon, there the star, the farthest star from the earth, sun, earth, the light is bending. The light is bending. Why? We understand how the light is bending because the star should be remain in which side or position that is not found in the right position. So we know the light is light or photon particle is are bending. Now it means there is interaction. What is interaction? Interaction between the graviton particles and and photon particles. Photon particles or graviton particles, all the small particles moving depend on Max Planck quantum theory, quantum mechanics of Maxwell quantum theory, and Schrodinger equation. So, Schrodinger equation, what is Schrodinger equation? This Schrodinger equation is applied for only small particles. Eigenfunction of x. We have to write that for photon particles. A e to the power cx xp bp e to the power minus cx xp. Now we have to analyze what is A, what is bp, what is cx, what is xp. Where this is the wave particle interaction of the Schrodinger equation. Photon particles for bp is equal to the x-axis, x coordinate, and lambda p. Lambda p is the wavelength of photon particles, and a y coordinate, that's it is for photon particles. There is a y-axis is equal to 0, and there EP, energy of photon particles is 0, and this point is BP by 2, lambda p by 2. Now, we also write for the graviton particles. The graviton particles wave length is greater than photon particles. We must discuss about that for later. So, that is the point S0 for the graviton particles and EZ for the 0, and that the point of BZ is equal to lambda Z by 2. We have to explain about the Schrodinger equation. How? Now xp is equal to a c e cp xp bp c e to the power minus c p x p. This cp is equal to c is equal to twice mp. mp is the mass of photon particles, and E minus U by h square. H means max Planck's constant. Now mp of photon particles. What? 3 into 10 to the minus 16 eV. Cp. Another way, Cg, what is the Cg? For graviton particle. Photon particle, graviton particle, Cg. Graviton particle. 3 into 10 to the minus 32 eV. Now we have to explain about the interaction. The interaction when two waves moving each one another, then photon particles first is E2, photon by E2 V to interact. By the interaction, they losing their energy, EP minus U, and one time EP is equal to 0. So, with the graviton particles, EP is equal to Eg minus U and is equal to 0. So, when they remain 0, they must be at inverse, moving on inverse position, and in inverse position they all must be minus Eg and minus EP for photon particles and minus Eg for graviton particles. Now, we also describe the Cp. What is Cp? Cp is dependent on 2 mp. What is mp? 6 into 10 to the minus 16 by h square and into E minus Cp. Minus Cp 6 into 10 to the minus 16. Such we can calculate this thing. Now we calculate minus 2 h 6 into 10 to the minus 6. We must acknowledge this thing as Cg minus 2 6 into 10 to the minus 32 by h. This is the two value we should be remember. Now, when x is equal to 0, we know eigen value x is equal to 0, and then 0 is equal to S0 equal Cx Cp xp plus Vp equal minus Cp xp. For x, eigenvalue of xg is equal to 0, 0 is Cg, xcg, xg plus Bg is equal to minus Cg x Cg. Combining two equation, Bp is equal to 0 minus Cp xp is equal to Bg 0 minus Cg xg. Now we have to know what is xp. X is equal to Cp. This Cp and this Cp is different. This is the velocity. And for fulfilling the full wavelength, two particles need t time. And then with Cg, velocity t. We have to remember this equation. Now, this equation we derive by Bp Bg by Bp Bg Ecg xg. We can write xg Cg v t E minus Cp Cpv into t, or Bp can write lambda by 2, lambda by z by 2, lambda by p, lambda p, lambda z, and Ecp we write in Cp Cpv t, Ecg Cp Cgv t. Calculating the wavelength of photon particle, it may be 6 into 10 to the minus 4 minus 6, and lambda g 6 into 10 to the minus 10 to the 4. Now, is Ecp Cpv t Ecg Cgv t. 6 or 10 to the minus 10 we should maintain this thing. Ecp Cpvt Ecp Cpv t. Now we can maintain log both sides. 10 to the minus 10. This log is for E base C. Then what result? Cp Cpv t minus Cg Cgv is equal to t. This value we should maintain minus 1 to mean minus 10, and then we calculate 10 negligible. This is negligible for this equation. Cp Cpv t minus Cg Cgv into t. This value is negligible, so Cgv velocity of t, Cp CP, B, T. We can T, T. Now, CZ. CZ is, we have to remain -2 into 6 into 10 to the power minus 16, 32, and CGB. And for CP, minus root 6 into 10 to the power minus 16 CPB. 2266, the velocity of graviton particles is CZV is equal to CZV is equal to 10 to the minus 16 into 10 to the minus plus 32 plus minus 32 maintain the plus 32 into CP into 3 into 10 to the plus into 8. The velocity of photon particles of light 10 to the 8 and 3 into 10 to the 16, 8, 34 meter per second approximately. Now, we have to calculate Friedmann equation by the velocity of graviton particle. Friedmann equation. Calculating the Friedmann equation, firstly we have to know what is Friedmann equation, what is the direction of Friedmann equation, and why I have to do this. Now, all of you have to know Friedmann equation. Four pi rho m 0. Rho m 0 the density of the universe of matter, and a 3a is the Friedmann equation, and 8 pi g rho or radiation c square plus 1/3 c square s square minus k cp square. This is the previous Friedmann equation depends on k cp square. From here to here is right, but there is a difficulty. Photon particles velocity k is equal to maybe 0. If k is equal to 0, the universe is flat. If k is equal to plus 1, the universe must be moving in the inverse in the singular point, I mean closed. And k is equal to -1, the universe must be open universe. Nowadays we are watching by the Hubble telescope, the universe is open, so k must be -1. Now for this Friedmann equation, ancient Friedmann equation, Albert Einstein general relativity may be 4 pi g by CP4 stress tensor, this stress tensor. but it is not right. The universe is open and rapidly expansion. That is smaller. That is smaller than that system, and that equation is equal to R scalar tensor minus R G B plus cosmological constant G mu B 8 pi Z extra tensor CP4. That value is so much is equal to, according to is equal to MC square. That value is, the universe should be same in the singular point. So that is smaller, that is greater. So we have to rewrite this equation by new system. That is right. And then we get CG square minus CG square. From where? From both sides of the equation. Minus CG square. We also rewrite this equation. What? We can erase this and erase this equation. How? So Friedmann equation 2 pi z rho m 0 by 3a plus 8 pi z rho mr 0 k square plus 1 by 3 cosmological constant s square c square minus Cp square minus Cg square. And there the equation, the right part is minus Cg square. We have to add it plus Cg square plus Cg square and equal. So minus Cg square plus Cg square. So we should write this thing such, and we should write this thing likely 8 pi g stress tensor Cp4 minus Cg square minus Cp square, and that's the new equation of general relativity Friedmann equation, and thus minus R G eta B plus cosmological G eta B is equal to 4 pi G stress tensor plus Cp4 minus K is equal to minus 1, so plus 1 Cg square minus Cp square. There's a new equation, and we can prove this thing by calculating anything, any equation, any system. How we calculate this thing? Now So we know the graviton particles is faster than photon particle. The first and foremost mistake of Albert Einstein was there is no particles in the universe is faster than photon particle, but graviton particles is much more faster than photon particle. Photon particles created from electron, but electron is not the mass. Mass is the proton, neutron. Now we have to analyze the proton. This is a proton. There is a upward, two upward, and downward. Upward is plus half and plus half. Downward is minus half. Plus minus is attraction, and plus plus is repulsion. So two graviton particles in the other side, in the different side, splitting from the proton. This is a proton decay system, and one graviton particle is absorbed by downward. So we can sketch proton upward, downward, and proton, another proton upward, downward. It is splitting graviton, it is splitting graviton, it is splitting graviton, and it is splitting graviton. The upward splitting graviton downward can absorb. Upward splitting downward can absorb. But two graviton particles lows in the inwards. This is called gravity system. Matter to matter gravity system. Now interaction between the photon and graviton particles, and photon particles are losing their energy by interacting with graviton particles. So we find the Schrodinger wave equation is correct. Firstly, by the interaction of proton particle with graviton particle, photon particles are losing their energy, and once the velocity of photon particles remains zero, and their velocity must be inverse. In the mean, it is the quantum constructive inverse vector. Now so we should calculate the Friedmann equation such way, and then but according to calculation Friedmann equation by the velocity of photon particle which is splitting from the electron does not accurately calculate the general relativity theory, gravity. By the velocity of graviton particles which create gravity matter to matter, which calculate out from the interaction photon particles and graviton particles by Schrodinger wave equation must be solved the main cause of rapid expansion of the universe. So we now stand on the Friedmann equation and general relativity theory and gravity, mostly gravity measured by the velocity of graviton, and Albert Einstein's first and foremost mistake was that there is no particle in the universe is faster than photon particles. That is wrong. The velocity of graviton particles time for both things, and we must now we must calculate the gravity. So matter to matter after Big Bang depend on matter to matter interaction depend on graviton particle, and Friedman equation and relativity depends on only graviton particles, not photon particles. So we must that's conclusion. New Friedman equation should be equation should be 8 pi z rho m 0 by a 3a plus 8 pi z rho r 0 by 3 square plus 1 by 3 cosine a square c square minus k c z square is equal to 8 pi z sensor cp4 plus 1 is equal to k plus 1 5 plus 1 minus 1 k into cg square minus cp square, and it should be like Digit tensor, scalar tensor minus half r g, and that's my calculation. So you may subscribe my, if you like or prefer this equation, new equation, please subscribe this, and this knowledge turn into follow into everybody. Please, the scientific society, progressive minded civilized society and of the world should be maintain this equation. Thank you very much.